Hi guys, my name is Will and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are platinuming Sniper Elite 5. So earlier this year I platinumed Sniper Elite 4 and at this moment it's currently the most viewed video on my channel, which really came as a surprise to me. I found the game really difficult and it was a really long grind for the platinum, so to see so much support and feedback really meant a lot to me. On that video I got a few comments asking me to do Sniper Elite 5 and now we are finally getting round to it. So without further ado, let's jump into another platinum adventure. So to start our platinum journey we decided to leave the campaign for now and hop straight into multiplayer. Thankfully for me, there's only one multiplayer trophy you need to get, and it's just for finishing one online game. It also helped me get used to the controls and general mechanics of the game again, as it's been a little while since I played Sniper Elite 4. And even though we did terribly, we did manage to pick up our very first kill. Next up, we headed into survival mode. Now this is very similar to Sniper Elite 4, all you need to do is survive against waves of enemies. However, on the previous game, I managed to just do this on my own quite casually, it didn't take me that long at all. However, on Sniper Elite 5, it's a lot trickier to survive that long, and because I'm such a low level, I decided to hop online and play with 3 random players. During this process, we did manage to achieve a few additional trophies. The first one was for nutshotting an enemy from over 100 meters away. In another trophy that's very similar to Sniper Elite 4, we hit every organ with a rifle, earning us another trophy. We then killed 3 soldiers with a single grenade, and killed 50 enemies using traps. Eventually, after several failed lobbies and numerous attempts, we finally managed to complete our 3rd survival game. Except for some reason the game didn't count it, so we were then forced to head back into survival and try and pick up a 4th win. I'm not sure why this trophy glitched for me. If anyone else has had that problem, can you please let me know in the comments? It really annoyed me at the time. I think when I was stuck on 2 wins I was having a really tough time finding good players to play with because everyone kept dying all the time, but eventually we managed to find a reasonable lobby and picked up a 4th win, and finally the trophy popped. Next up, it was time to take on the Sniper Elite campaign. In the previous game, I didn't really pay much attention to the story. To be honest, it felt more like it was just a classic World War II undercover storyline, and I didn't really want to pay attention to it. However, this time I did pay attention to the story, and I found I really enjoyed it. So what I'll do is I'll run through each mission and what we're doing one by one, and then at the end we'll go through any trophies that we missed throughout. For the first mission of the game, Atlantic Wall, you jump back into the shoes of Carl Fairburn. He's the protagonist of pretty much all of the Sniper Elite games. He's an undercover American operative in World War II. You're tasked with taking down a German radar tower off the coast of France. Whilst you're there, you're also trying to save some resistance members. However, it turns out all of them have died except for one. Her name is Charlie, and at the end of the mission she gives you details to the location of General Muller. Charlie also gives us locations for the subscribe button. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. Sorry, I kind of had to show this somewhere. So yeah, if you are new, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a lot. General Muller is obviously a German general, and he is set up as the main antagonist for the game. The information that Charlie, the resistance member, gives you at the end of this mission leads you to where his chateau is in France. Using this information sets us up for the second mission, where we're going to try and assassinate him. Normally at this point I'd just show you the clip of the trophy and we'd move on. However, I did earn a second trophy which I can't really skip and show you at the end. This trophy was for completing the mission without using any healing items. Again, I was playing on the easiest difficulties, so this was kind of expected. We move on into the second mission, Occupied Resistance. Now this mission tasks you with invading General Muller's chateau. He's not here, however we do break into his office to try and gather more information. The information that we grab tells us about something named Operation Kraken. Now we don't get much more information about this other than there's a meeting at a place named Beaumont Saint Denis. This then sets us up for the third mission. I found mission number 3 one of the harder ones in the game. You're tasked with breaking into Beaumont Saint-Denis, which is a huge castle based in France. Now this is based on a place called Mont Saint-Michel, which I've actually been to in real life. It's like this really beautiful castle set out on a mini island by the sea. The mission was really tricky though, there's loads of enemies and I found it really difficult to not get spotted. I felt like I raised the alarm so many times in this one. Now the aim of the mission is to listen in on 3 German officers having a meeting about Operation Kraken. When listening in, you find 2 really important pieces of information that set up the next 2 missions. The first one is the location of where this weapon is being built, a steel factory in France, and the second is that there's a testing silo based on the island of Guernsey, which we'll get to in mission 5. For mission 4, we're tasked with heading over to the steel factory and destroying the furnaces to slow down the German production. This one is one of the smaller maps and in my opinion one of the easier missions in the game. There aren't as many enemies and it didn't take me too long to get through it. There's no additional story bits on this one as we already know where we're going for mission number 5. For mission number 5, we're heading over to the island of Guernsey. Now this mission was really cool for me because Guernsey is one of the Channel Islands, which are a group of islands between England and France. I was actually born and raised on the bigger and in my opinion slightly better island of Jersey nearby. Both Jersey and Guernsey were occupied during the Second World War and it was really nice to see one of the Channel Islands get a shout out in video games. That has literally never happened before in my life and it was really cool seeing the map play out. It's exactly the same shape as the island. During the mission, we're tasked with sneaking onto the island and locating the prototype for Operation Kraken. During this, we discover that Operation Kraken is code for a bunch of stealthy U-boats that are going to be used to invade England. These U-boats have specialised stealth plating as well as additional strength armour. Luckily for us, we are able to destroy the prototype and make a swifty getaway from Guernsey. I don't need to say too much about mission 6, which is called Liberation. This mission takes you away from the main story and tasks you with liberating a small town as part of the end of the war. It was quite nice to take a bit of a break away from the story. However, our break doesn't last too long as at the end of the mission Claire is back to give us information on where Kraken's command centre is. Heading into mission 7, and I found this one quite tricky as well. For this mission there are 2 separate areas that you need to infiltrate and each one has loads of enemies in it. It makes it really difficult to get through without being spotted. Patrolling both these buildings are several tanks and they spot you really easily. I ended up in a ton of gunfights with this one and there were loads of alarms raised. It was just really stressful and annoying for me. However, we managed to invade both the areas, we stopped some V2 rockets and we finally got the information for the whereabouts of Operation Kraken. The final main mission of the game is by far the hardest. For this one you need to sneak through a ruined town that is swarmed by German soldiers. I mean they are literally everywhere, it's so difficult. Once you've managed to get through the village you can sneak through the sewers and you end up in the building where the main base for Operation Kraken is located. You end up in this giant warehouse where there are 4 or 5 of these U-boats that you need to destroy. I actually didn't find the warehouse too bad at all, there weren't as many enemies as there were outside and I could clear them all quite quickly. Eventually we managed to blow the fuel lines, destroying the building, and Operation Kraken is no more. However, this isn't the end of our story just yet. As we're celebrating our victory, Charlie lets us know that General Muller is packing up his stuff and preparing to flee to Germany. She lets us know that he's back at his chateau right now, gathering up his belongings to leave. This gives us one final opportunity to end him once and for all. The last mission of the game is really easy. You're posted up outside of General Muller's chateau and all you need to do is assassinate him. He walks out of the building straight away and he doesn't move much at all, so it's a really easy one to finish off the game. We earned 2 trophies for doing this. The first one was for taking out General Muller with a headshot and the second was for completing the campaign.
Good riddance.
We weren't finished with General Muller just yet, as there's another trophy for killing him from over 600 meters.
Good riddance.
As I mentioned earlier in the video, during our initial campaign playthrough, we did earn a few additional trophies along the way, so I'll pop them all here at the end. The first one we earned during our 4th mission was for killing 350 enemies with rifles. This is a really easy trophy to get. It's basically guaranteed if you play through the campaign, you're gonna kill loads of enemies. Our next trophy was for killing 50 enemies while hiding in tall grass. Next up, we killed 150 enemies whilst in iron sights. This one is also a guarantee because you can't put a scope on your pistol or secondary weapon. Our next trophy was for getting kills with 20 different weapons, and for getting 50 kills whilst in sound mask. Sound masking is essentially where there's a really loud noise which will cover the sound of your sniper fire, meaning that enemies can't hear you when you shoot. It's a really useful tool, but I don't think it helped me that much during my playthrough. However, I did need to do it for the trophy. And finally, we performed 100 lethal takedowns. With the main story finished, it was now time to go straight back into the campaign again and complete some miscellaneous trophies. There are 4 or 5 miscellaneous trophies that are mission specific, and I decided just to go for these before I went and did the collectible run. For our first trophy, we head into the second mission of the game, the Chateau, where we need to destroy General Muller's shiny new car. It's parked just outside the main building, and it's a pretty easy thing to destroy. In mission 4, the factory, there is a man sat in a crane, and if you shoot him, it causes a huge accident and we get another trophy. In Mission 6, one of the main objectives is to eliminate 3 snipers that are overlooking the town. In order to earn the miscellaneous trophy, we need to take down all 3 of the snipers via melee. While hunting for our next trophy, we hit level 40, which is the max rank in the campaign. This same mission requires you to destroy one of every vehicle type. After destroying our final vehicle, which was the U-boat, we earned ourselves the trophy. Once again, while grinding through, we earned ourselves another trophy for achieving 250 ghost kills. Ghost kills are pretty easy to achieve, you just need to kill an enemy without anybody hearing the gunshot or seeing the body drop. Next up, on mission number 8, we needed to make the final shot without using empty lung. Empty lung is essentially where you hold your breath and steady your shot so the red dot appears over the target. All I needed to do at the end of the mission was switch the difficulty over to authentic and make the shot that way. I headed back to the 7th mission for a trophy I'd missed, which is where you make a tank destroy another vehicle. We also picked up another trophy we missed earlier, which is for killing General Muller using a gun with iron sights. Now it was time for our 3rd playthrough through the campaign. This time it was our collectibles playthrough. There were 19 collectibles per level and we needed to collect every single one of them for trophies. However, before we get to those, during this playthrough we managed to get a few weapon related trophies. The first trophy was for getting 150 pistol kills. We then killed 20 enemies using booby traps, killing 50 enemies using found weapons, aka weapons picked up off the ground, 300 kills with secondary weapons, and finally killing 50 enemies with heavy weapons. Each mission also has 2 additional objectives. During my initial playthrough, I'd completed all of them except for one, so during the collectibles run through, I completed my last optional objective and got another trophy. The collectibles weren't necessarily difficult to get, however it was a really tedious process. Having to get 19 for each mission took ages, but thankfully I did use a guide which helped me out a lot. They're not sponsored, but I do want to say thank you to Gamer Guides because they have an interactive map where you can tick off what you've done. I believe they've got tons of game maps on there, so if you're ever having trouble with collectibles, I'd recommend checking them out. Finally though, we'd reached the final mission and we were able to rack up a load of trophies. The first thing we got was for collecting all 39 classified documents. We found all 24 workbenches. Collected all 41 personal letters. Destroyed all 24 stone eagles. And finally we collected all 24 hidden items. Next up were the weapon mastery challenges. In total we had to master 18 weapons in the game, 6 pistols, 6 secondary weapons and 6 rifles. The rifles were a bit different, but the best strategy that I had for the pistols and the secondary weapons was to go to the chateau mission, pile up a bunch of bodies and make a manual save. Once you pile up a bunch of unconscious bodies, you can kill them all, reload your save and those kills will carry over. I started off by doing the pistol challenges. In order to master a pistol you need to get 50 ghost kills. We had 5 pistols remaining and with only 50 kills it didn't take me too long. To master the secondary weapons you need to get 150 kills with each one. Unfortunately my save file corrupted, so I had to pile up a slightly smaller amount of bodies for this. If I'd known about this earlier I would have switched my secondary weapon during my campaign playthrough, as I got 150 kills with that pretty quickly. But because I'm an idiot I didn't, which meant I had to sit there and get 750 kills. This took about an hour and a half. It was one of the most tedious things I did during my platinum run, but eventually we managed to master our last weapon. We weren't quite done yet though, as we still needed to get 150 kills with a rifle in iron sights. Now it was time to master all of the rifles. To master a rifle you need to get 50 headshots from over 100 meters away. The best place to do this is on the overlook for Beaumont Saint Denis. You can just pick off loads of enemies and they don't get alerted to your presence. As we were grinding through this we also earned the trophy for a total kill distance of over 100,000 meters. And with our final shot we mastered all of the rifles and earned our second trophy for mastering all weapons. Hi guys, we've got 2 multiplayer trophies that we still need to earn before we tackle the authentic playthrough. The first one that we're going to go for today is the Axis Invasion. So what that basically means is we join a random player's campaign game, but as an enemy sniper, so we're going to be playing as a German sniper. The whole aim for this trophy is we need to kill that player. So once we do that and get the kill, we will win and hopefully the trophy will pop. So yeah, the issue is basically I don't know where this guy is. He could be anywhere, which is a little bit worrying. It's kind of weird. It's quite fun though. It's like a cool little one-on-one game mode. Oh, I think I just heard and or saw something. So he's about... Oh, we got him! Yes, let's go! That was quite easy. There we go. We got opposing force, win 1 Axis invasion as an invader. Very good. That was surprisingly easy. I thought that was going to be really difficult, but we just caught him sneaking in and we killed him pretty quickly. I didn't have face cam for this part, so for the next trophy we basically had to do the opposite. So I jumped into a campaign mission with the settings enabled so another player could join to try and kill me, and our aim was to try and kill him. We did manage to do it after a very, very intense gunfight, and we got the trophy. So with 1 trophy remaining, it was finally time. Time to tackle the hardest part of the Sniper Elite 5 Platinum. Authentic difficulty. And I cheated. Yep, that's right, I cheated. So the problem is, I had a deadline for this video and I knew I was going away for a few days and I just wasn't going to be able to get through the game in time. So I called upon PSN profiles and found a guy who had save points at every exfil on authentic difficulty. We sat through together and in less than 5 minutes I had the first 8 missions all completed. However, my trip got cancelled. This suddenly meant I had a lot more time on my hands and I cheated my way for one of the harder trophies in the game. Not gonna lie, I wasn't happy about doing it in the first place, but I thought I had to hit this video deadline. So at this point I could have just finished the last mission, got my platinum trophy and all would have been well, but I didn't feel happy about doing it this way. So I sat down and I grinded out authentic difficulty over a couple of days. To be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I had a few moments. Oh shit, this thing's gonna fucking wreck me. Oh no, 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 no. Go, 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 go. Ah! Oh my god, let me get up! Oh, I can't get up! What's the point? Oh! Yes, we got it! Let's go! It's saving! Get me out of here! 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 But after several hours of torture, we got through the authentic campaign and we were finally on to the last mission. Hello! So if you're wondering, which you probably weren't, why I didn't have my face cam on for this entire video, I've been recovering from the flu. I've just spent the entire week without my voice, feeling terrible, and I hope you can understand that you don't really want to turn the camera on for that. However, we have finally, legitimately this time, reached the last mission on authentic difficulty, and once we assassinate General Muller, we will get ourselves our platinum trophy. Right, so all we need to do is we hit this shot, we listen to Charlie here say words again, and the platinum trophy is ours. Now, the slight issue is my aim long distance on authentic is terrible, so he's about 200 meters away, so we know that. He's gonna stop. Doesn't appear to be too much wind, but if we aim slightly to the left of his head, we take the shot, and by the looks of that, we catch him right in the chest. Let's go. Brilliant. Okay, Muller is officially taken down. We get to hear Charlie say her words for, I think, possibly the millionth time. Good riddance. We get it. Let's skip. Oh, I'm still getting over being ill. The campaign's done. Let's skip. Come on. Show me the money. Best of the best. For confirmation, complete the entire campaign on authentic difficulty. And it is time for the platinum trophy. Sniper Elite. That is Sniper Elite 5. All done. We are finished. Another platinum trophy for our collection. Once again, if you did enjoy today's video, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Also, please follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/J14willofficial. We're live minimum 5 days a week, so if you want to come play some community games, you can check me out there. Also as well, we do have a Discord server if you do want to join that. I normally ask for help there first before I go to the community page on YouTube with any trophies. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out!